The following review is intended for entertainment purposes and targeted for adult fans of the series.
Easy mistake to make. You can see, I'm just going to stare over here for a minute. Hello there, heroes. I'm the Orange Ranger, and welcome to something I was not expecting to have to do in the month of June, a Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. I was toying with the idea of reviewing the international airings, since that's when the older fan base would be talking about the show, and I do enjoy staying relevant. However, the interesting fluctuations of the show's now and future home have thrown all of that into flux. As a quick reminder, or for those of you who may be unaware, Power Rangers is in the final year of its contract with Nickelodeon. We were long past due to hear about a contract extension, leading some people to believe that the Nickelodeon era might be coming to an end. And then Netflix announced that the first half of Dino Fury would be coming to its service on June 15th. Now, that's nothing new. That's actually been happening for the past couple of seasons. What is new is that they announced it would be the first 11 episodes of Dino Fury. In the past, it had only been the first 8 episodes of the season, aka what had already aired on Nickelodeon. Debuting the first 11 episodes would mean that 3 episodes of Dino Fury would debut first on Netflix before airing on Nickelodeon in the fall. Most of us were convinced that this was a tempest in a teapot, a typo by a social media intern who wasn't quite paying attention. But no, it was then basically confirmed by pretty much everyone involved with the show that this is what was happening. And now, all 11 of those episodes are officially up on Netflix to watch. And, by the way, Dino Fury is now listed as a Netflix original series, meaning a series that is basically owned and backed by Netflix. So anyway, it's time to get back to Zato, Ollie, Amelia, Javi, Izzy, Solon, and maybe a couple of new characters we'll meet along the way. Dino Fury is back for 3 more episodes at least, which I will be reviewing over the next 3 weeks. Maybe a little bit faster than that, but if you're a regular subscriber, you know that lately my insane summer work schedule and sudden new circle of friends and social life has made working on videos incredibly difficult. Doing my best. But for now, let's take a look at the 9th episode of Power Rangers Dino Fury, Cut Off.
Please make sure you're subscribed to the channel.
Yeah, and make sure you got your notifications set up by hitting that little bell icon.
Right you. What he said was, you can consider checking us out on Patreon or Ko-fi at Orange Ranger Videos.
So, interestingly, this is a pretty easy premise to describe, but while the focus is on Ollie, I'm not entirely sure who the episode is saying should learn the lesson. The Rangers have decided to go camping, but Ollie has decided to bring along basically every gadget he owns, or at least the ones that apply to camping. Most of these are incredibly useful for camping and would really take nothing away from the experience. A jacket with pre-installed fans, a little battery-powered chainsaw, a self-rocking hammock that's just played for a physical comedy gag, shoes that generate electricity by walking, stored in batteries that can be plugged in and used later.
Yes! That's awesome!
The thing is, and this comes off especially strange for a team of Power Rangers whose base is practically a spaceship, they're all feeling weirdly technophobic today, extremely judgmental of Ollie for bringing along these rather useful camping gadgets, and hurting his feelings in the process. Nearby, Mucus and a Sporix beast that looks like a Triceratops Flower, aka Rooster, are hidden nearby and say that the Rangers are ripe for the picking. Cut over to Void Knight for a villain scene that is sadly mostly played for comedy, once again, that really just serves to downplay Mucus's intelligence. Cutting to the point, they've attached a disruptor to a balloon that will go up into the sky and then disrupt all forms of communication in the area, including Ranger teleportation.
Excuse me, the f did you just say?
Ah, teleportation, my favorite form of communication. Anyway, Mucus releases the balloon early and it snags in the trees. Nearby, Zato and the Garcias are gathering some firewood when they hear the three arguing. Zato calls Ollie and Amelia to come join them. There's no real sign if the signal did or did not get through, and tells Javi and Izzy that they've been asking about Void Knight and this is going to be their chance to see them. Have Javi and Izzy really not encountered Void Knight to this point? That's interesting, huh? I guess that signal did get through, despite the fact that there's a balloon with a disruptor that is supposed to block communication like 5 feet over their heads, because all 5 Rangers confront the monsters. We get some rather awkward banter before they instamorph and fight some of the Hengemen. Mucus uses a big stick to free the balloon, though it's possible that Zato kicked Void Knight and Void Knight bumped into Mucus, and that's what ended up helping them to free the balloon. The balloon was apparently only programmed to activate at a certain elevation, as it does so after the villains leave, and all of the Rangers' communications and teleportation are blocked.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Fair warning, I find scenes like the next one to be extremely aggravating. As my regular viewers know, I cannot stand when the Rangers are written out of character to justify a single episode's plot point, especially not this early. This is only episode 9. We're still trying to figure out exactly who these characters are, but who they are keeps changing from episode to episode. With no communication and no teleportation, Zato decides that the only thing the Rangers can really do is hike all the way back to the city to make sure it's safe, since otherwise Void Knight has the city and all of the Sporix in it to themselves. However, Ollie says he has another idea. Those batteries in his electric shoes are fully charged, so maybe he can use them and whip something up that will take out the balloon. And all of the other Rangers act like this is the worst idea they've ever heard in their lives, especially Amelia, and this is my biggest problem with this episode. Amelia is a little bit sassy, yes, but we have seen her to be kind, sweet, and understanding. She is a straight-up B word to Ollie this time, though, completely dismissing his idea and really implying that he was an idiot to suggest it. And Zato's really not any better. This kind, wise Red Ranger leader who once suggested trying both of 2 different plans says it's just not possible for Ollie to stay and work on the invention while they go and check on the city. Oh, no, no. However, Ollie's idea actually ends up forcing him to stay and try it. You see, he took off one of his shoes and pulled out the batteries to show the Rangers, which apparently broke the shoe, and he didn't bring spares, so now he can't walk back to the city. So he's got to stay and try his idea.
Oh well, gosh darn, ain't that convenient. I mean inconvenient.
Jane and Jayborg, I sure have missed them. Wait a minute, I think I said that wrong. Let me back that up. Jane and Jayborg, I sure have not missed them. Pretty easy mistake to make. To be honest, this scene really isn't painful and actually kind of serves the plot. Jane is teaching Jayborg about wishing on coins thrown into a fountain, a valuable life lesson for us all, when a Sporix crawls out of the fountain. It's claimed by the baddies, the second that they've found since the Rangers have gone missing. The ladies try to call the Ranger hotline, but it doesn't work on 2 different phones, showcasing that the blocker is either covering the city, or the Rangers were camping near the base, so the base is covered by it as well.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
As the Rangers make their way through the forest, Ollie is seen inventing a hyper arrow. You remember when Beast Morphers got like really obsessed with like the arrow of the day? I guess that's still kind of a thing. He makes the arrow out of a retractable hiking stick, the fans from his jacket, and the batteries from the shoes, which not only power the arrow, but make it cute little fletching. He tries just flinging it up with his arm, but it doesn't have enough thrust. Meanwhile, the other Rangers return right back to the camp, their grand idea of hiking out of the forest resulting in them walking in a total circle. But this does put them in prime position to see Ollie fail at what he was trying to do. So I want to review this here really quick. The Rangers mocked Ollie for his idea of trying to invent something that would take out the balloon. He does it anyway, it fails, they witness this, and their reaction is to be duly impressed by this and to totally change their minds on all of the tech that Ollie brought with him camping.
Why?
1, it failed, just like you thought it was going to do. 2, that has nothing to do with him bringing technology along on a camping trip.
Okay, dude, calm down. Take a chill pill.
Oh my Zordon, shut up! What are you even from? Ollie gets the idea of crafting a crossbow out of wood and rope, an interestingly low-tech solution, and all the Rangers chip in to help. In what I can't help but feel is a little tongue-in-cheek response to Amelia's characterization in this episode, Ollie gives her the job of going to get the arrow. You want to act like a B word? Fine, go fetch. Hey, guess what? The crossbow works like a charm and the balloon is destroyed. Although I need to comment on one little thing. Just before they fire, Ollie gives the arrow a little pep talk. You can go up there and take out that balloon. And Amelia can't help but comment that it's a little adorable. Solon calls now that the comms are working and directs the Rangers to the city. Zato uses the "why did the chicken cross the road" joke on Rustafa, and besides not being funny whatsoever, hey Dino Fury, you're starting to try way too hard to be funny. Also clued me into the fact that apparently this monster is supposed to be a rooster?
I get it.
I don't get it.
The Rangers morph, the full sequence with the morpher and the keys and the spinning the thing around this time, which you wonder why they bother with if they can just smack their communicators and instantly morph, but moving on. The Rangers fight Hengeman and the monster, and this fight scene brings up a problem that I haven't seen come up all that often in Power Rangers. All the action in this scene is really close to the camera. Too close. Everything's too big and in your face. We need some distance, literally, to be able to take things in. You know, it kind of reminds me of this one time when I was in elementary school and we took a field trip to go see a movie, and I learned why not too many people sit in the front row right in front of the screen. Everything was just too big and too loud.
Get on with it!
You know something? That's fair. I really was rambling there. Rustafa grows because the plot's not going to take us anywhere at this point, and the core three deal with that in the Megazord while the siblings Garcia take on Void Knight. I have been pretty hard on this episode, I realize, so I will say I adored this Megazord fight. The Bay-esque style, when done right, is really dynamic and I love it. Changing angles, especially low angles in a Megazord fight, it just really gives the fight the proper sense of scale. However, chickens can fly, so Rustafa takes to the sky to blast the Megazord from above. And before you start typing your comments, no, chickens cannot fly. However, this is a franchise that once called a killer whale a shark, so animal science has never really been one of its strong suits. What it's much more good at are MMPR callbacks. Okay, that's not entirely fair, since as I had to remind myself, seriously, Ryusoldier was so boring that I've already forgotten most of it. This does come from the Sentai footage, which itself was probably referencing back to Jew Ranger. Zato puts the Megazord into fortress formation, which is really a terrible name for it. Again, the Sentai called it the exact same thing, because it's actually a tank. The Void Knight battle ends weirdly. The Garcias are getting kicked around, but then they use glare and muscle keys to get the upper hand. But then Void Knight just leaves with the Sporix. Bang up job getting those back.
Your incompetence is staggering.
The two head for their Zords, and the Megazord goes warrior formation to best make some fried chicken. Zato summons the Mega Fury Saber, and the fight overed quickly though with a Dino Fury Slash. Mucus tries to get the powered up Sporix, but the Rangers get there first. At Area 62, Mucus apologizes to Void Knight for failing, but while the Rangers got a powered up Sporix, Void Knight got 3 regular Sporix. To be honest, the power increase looks to be about the same, 3 regular Sporix versus 1 powered up Sporix, and declares that the Rangers will never see the next plan coming. Comedy wrap up with the Rangers that I'm kind of mixed on. Back to camping, but Ollie specifically told them not to bring along sleeping bags. He's made them all jackets just like his that turns out they have sleeping bags contained in one of the compartments that you can deploy at the push of a button. Izzy pushes the wrong button, deploying a life raft bubble, and goes rolling down a hill. Ollie asks if she's okay, and she says, "That was fun!" The Rangers all hit the same button as the episode ends. This feels like kind of a moment. Technically speaking, this could be considered the first episode of the Netflix era. So it's with a little bit more weight and importance that I declare it time to balance the scales. Episode 9, Cut Off. Pros, dynamic Megazord fight footage, the balance of high and low tech, and Izzy's characterization. Cons, felt pretty pointless, character assassination, especially for Amelia, and try-hard comedy misses the mark. Welcome back? Cut Off gets 2 scales out of 5. Some people are going to see this video and think that I have just decided to be the contrarian, that I saw the positive reviews and the tweets for the new Netflix episodes and just decided to lean into this cranky old man persona, the angry Power Rangers nerd, if you will. Is nothing good enough for me? Have I become that unpleasable? When I saw those tweets, I got excited. Oh, good. The new episodes kick butt. I'm really looking forward to doing some positive reviews. As I started watching this episode, those thoughts became more, really? This is what everybody got excited about? Amelia acting like one of the mean girls? An episode that doesn't really have a moral or a reason to exist? A monster that looks like everything but what it's supposed to be? I keep it real, for better or for worse. If episodes 10 and 11 are better, are really good, I'll be the happiest reviewer on the internet. This episode was not good. Let's hope that episode 10, Phoning Home, is better. A knight from Zato's home planet suddenly appears at Dinohenge with a message that might be too good to be true, and Solon has her suspicions. That is going to do it for another Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review, the first of the new Netflix era. Thank you, heroes, so much as always for watching, and especially, and I know I say this a bit sometimes, but I really do mean this, thank you all for your patience with me as I've gone through this kind of summer drought of videos. I actually decided to look at, when I started filming this, I realized that I would be able to look at the file dates on the previous videos and see when the last time I filmed was. June 2nd. I have not filmed a new video in almost exactly 2 weeks. That's really crazy to me, and it's not how I want to operate this channel, even having a social life. Like, I realize that having a social life is not something that is bad. It's something that's healthy. It's something that's good. And work is work. You know, am I working too much? Possibly, but you know, I have work and I have my social life, and then I have this channel that's been like my primary hobby, and I really just need to learn how to balance all 3 of those better. So it is something I'm working on. I do want to get more content out to you. It may not be as much content as I used to make because I have more things competing for my time, but I'm gonna keep making videos, I'm gonna keep reviewing things, I'm gonna finish Dragon Knight, I'm gonna keep working on the comics, and I'm gonna be doing this, and I have toy reviews that I wanna do. I just got in, I'm pointing at it right now off screen at my bed, the Power Rangers deck building game by Renegade. I have it. It's in this box right here. Look. Ooh, preview. Ooh, little sneak peek. So that was really random, sorry. So yeah, I have all of that stuff to work on. I want to make those videos. I am going to make those videos. I appreciate the patience and support of everybody on this channel, the folks that are on my Patreon, etc., etc. I thank you so much for watching and just staying patient with me, and I really appreciate that. Now that the review is over, you can let me know if you liked it by hitting that thumbs up button right down below. And while you're down there, you can leave a comment letting me know if you enjoyed this episode, as well as my review of it. And remember, if you want to lend any financial support to my channel, you can always check me out on Patreon or Ko-fi. And you can also check out my Teespring to get lovely t-shirts like this one, or the old channel logo, various merch, etc. Until next time, heroes, may the power protect you. A Power Rangers Dino Fury episode review. Who knows why though? International things. But who they are is changing week to week to satisfy the plot in the script. Especially this early. This is only episode 9. Fart! Ollie gets the idea of crafting a crossbow. Some people are going to see this video and think that I'm blah, blah. You can leave a comment letting me know what you thought of this review, as well as my episode on it.